Hi friends, Renee Keys here with Carolina Creative. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here with card making ideas for you. Today I am back to playing with this suite, the beautiful Bokeh, which includes the beautiful butterflies, stamps, dies, and the hybrid embossing folder. Although I didn't use this folder today, this would have worked really well on this card too, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I am using some of the papers that come with the suite. These are just a lot of fun. They have that watercolor, splotchy bokeh look. And so what I've done is I have picked a piece of that Calypso coral paper and I have cut it to 3.5 by about 4.5. So I just have, and the back side's pretty too. It's a watercolor wash. I'll have to really decide which side I want to use when I start assembling. So I have that. I have my card base also in Calypso coral. And then I've got a piece of peach pie that I already ran through with the embossing folder, and I used So Swirly. I just wanted something kind of subtle. But like I said, the butterfly embossing folder that comes with this suite would have been really cool with this too. So you can see how this is going to start to go together. Now, I'm going to flip the camera down. I already used my embossing machine, so I'm going to show you what I'm about to pull off the embossing machine. I was trying to save some time, and so I ran through using 3 of the dies from this same set. So I've got some pieces to punch out here, and now I can just slide this out of my way. And I'll have more space to work right here. So what I did was die cut what I call the detailed butterfly. I've got a banner for a sentiment. Here we go. This should, yep, it's going to pop out very easily. And then I used a slightly darker color. Instead of the Calypso coral, I went with Cajun Craze because I'm going to make that the butterfly body. So like I said, you're already starting to see how this is going to come together. I've got my parts and pieces. I've got some stamps ready to go. So let's get to it. Inside the card, what I want to do, here's my white, I'll just set that aside, my white panel for inside. I want to stamp, I'm going to do a little contrast. I'm sticking with my 2 colors. It's just Cajun Craze and Calypso Coral here. And so I'm staying within a theme. I'm going to put Time to Celebrate inside the card. And I'm going to line this up nice and straight. And give it, 1, 2, 3 seconds to transfer the ink. And then I've got the cute little butterfly, the little side view. And I'm going to do this in the lighter color. So this I am going to ink up in the Cajun Craze. And I'm going to try to put it right, well, he's going to be partly off the page, but actually that's okay. He's just flying right in. And I may go ahead and just do another one down here in the corner, just because I think he's cute. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and let me do my sentiment. Because I'm doing it on, peach pie, I'm going to use Cajun Craze. I'm going to go a little bit darker, and it's just simply going to say, for you. Like that. But what I do think I want to do, I'm done with ink, so I'm going to close these up and just set them aside for now. I do think I'm going to add a little wink of Stella to the butterfly wings, and if I grab a little bit of that color, it's okay. I don't mind having a little bit of that shading on the butterfly. I just want to give him some sparkle. Fun little surprise when you open up the card. So that will go inside, and I think since it's here, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. We'll start from the inside out, which is the way I like to assemble. And I must have a little clog here on my glue because it's not wanting to come out. Isn't that interesting? I may have to actually do a clean on this, which I just did the other day, so I'm surprised that it's acting persnickety again today. Let's try. Nope. So, forget that. I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal. I'll clean that later. And I will put this right side up for me with my 2 cute little butterflies inside. There we go. Now, on this, I'm thinking I will put the lighter layer squared up. And then I may put the other piece on an angle, just for something different. Sometimes you don't want everything too uniform and square, you know, you just want to be a little bit different. I see a little edge here, so I'm just going to flatten that. And that must have been from my cutting. So now comes my decision. No, I really don't like that. I'm going to have to go with, I like the lighter watercolor wash here because that makes the butterfly pop. And you see how I am going to go on an angle here, so I have to decide, do I want this angle and then the butterfly at an angle? How do I want to do this? Not that there's any right or wrong way to it, because there isn't, but I kind of like the way that looks. So let's go with that. So I'm going to, again, grab my Stampin' Seal and just make sure I've got the corners, the edges, and put this on. And I think for the butterfly, I'm actually going to go ahead and use my fine tip liquid glue. I had some difficulty with this the other day. I got it all cleaned and reassembled with the point back on. So now I'm going to run just a bead along the edges here and a little bit wherever there's a thicker spot, just to make sure that the middle of the butterfly is going to stick down too. Make sure I get the body, and then start going this way. And this will dry clear as well. It's just, you have a lot more control with this. Very fine point. There we go. And now this one's wanting to clog. It's just slowing down a little bit. So let's go dots here. Make sure I get the tip of the wing up here. I think that's going to be enough to hold it. Okay. So now I'm going to carefully position this because I don't want to move it once I put it down. I try not to let the glue, you know, show through. I've got a little bit of seepage right there, but I think I have a trick for fixing that too. And maybe I didn't get enough under there to hold that wingtip down. So I'm dotting a little bit more, give it a press. Yep, and that'll be enough to hold it. Okay, and then now I'm going to add the body. So same thing, I'm going to put a bead. Yeah, I'm going to have to take this apart again. These are very touchy. They will clog pretty easily. So I do find I'm taking this apart and checking it pretty frequently. But because I just did it, I didn't think I'd have to do it again today. So I've got glue on the body and his little head. And just like that, glue down his antennae. And sometimes I like to actually curl these wings, but today I'm trying to glue the whole thing down and give it a little bit of you know, texture from the paper. Just give it a natural flow. So now I have to decide, where do I want to put this? And I'm thinking it just needs to go up top like that. And then, so let me put, I'm thinking ahead here and not talking while I'm doing it. I'm just going to, I think I'm gonna do this on an angle too, because the butterfly's on an angle. So it says, for you. I did want to add a bow, and I had a couple of orange bows. Well, that one doesn't go. This one does, and I think I'm just going to put that right on his body. Give it a little touch of class, if you will, and put a bow on him. And then I'm going to grab my Wink of Stella pen and give him some shimmer too. So I've got a bow, and where I had a little glue seeping through there, I think if I just touches this with a little shimmer, it'll help cover in case it doesn't dry completely. Sometimes it's shiny, you know, it's clear, but it's shiny. So I'm just going to give his outer wings down here a little bit of shimmer, a little glitter here. And if I wanted to, I could put it inside here. I'm just picking a couple of these spots to add a little bit of sparkle. So now, if I wanted, I could also put like rhinestones or put something on there. With the colors that I picked, the itty bitty bokeh that came with, ooh, the clear ones would look really cute, wouldn't they? Let's make a change here. These I find are very static sensitive, and it's very, very cold today. So I'm going to try to carefully pull out, there's the two I want to use for what I'm thinking about. And let's put glue dots in here. And now I'm flowing again, so that's a good thing. So I'm going to put the glue dots kind of where that curve is. And then if I can pick it up, I have part of my take your pick tool. I don't even have it attached to the tool, but I think this will achieve what I'm going for. And that is to place this on there without having to handle it too much with my fingers. Oh, I'm kind of liking that. For you. Okay. I could sprinkle more on there, but I think that would take away from the card. So let me show you what I've done. Die cutting, a little bit of paper, a little bit of embossing. The butterflies would look cute too. Just to make a card that says for you. So this can be for any occasion again. Whatever, you need to send a person to recognize a special date, whether it's a birthday or an anniversary. This is a pretty generic card, but I like the colors and the textures, and I stayed within a color family. Now to show you a way to go out of the color family, I played with those little bokeh trinkets yesterday, and you can see I had already die cut out of yellow, so I used what's left over, that stencil, and just stamped So Thankful on there. Here's where I actually did kind of curl the wings so it's not flat, and I did put it on a piece of that bokeh watercolor paper. And then inside, again, it just says, I really appreciate you. Just a fun little card, something a little bit different. 2 different takes using this set just to show you how much versatility there is with a set like this. So 2 very different cards, very different looks. So that's my card tips for today. Thanks for tuning in. If you like the products and the projects you've seen here, you can find me at Carolina Creative or hashtag Carolina Creative. And I am on the Stampin' Up! Network. Renee Keese at StampinUp.net. Stay tuned for the next video. Thanks.